Hello, my name's David. I'm from the 2019 Summer EFPO team. This tutorial is about your testing setup for your Mac. Couple tools you'll need is Google Chrome or Firefox. You would need the Git command line, which you can either get by downloading Xcode or just downloading Git. You would need the Katalon recorder, which is an extension you can add on to your Google Chrome or Firefox. You would also need Docker and Visual Studio Code. I'll be also leaving links down below for these tools, and for this tutorial I'll be starting everything from scratch so you guys can follow along and see how the whole process is. You would also need Azure Data Studio as well for to see the DB transactions. So now head over to Jira, and you want to go to Bitbucket. Now here you would want to get your repository basically that has the testing stuff. So here in the repository for functional test, we actually have basically the testing environment, what we would need basically. So we just go over here and come over here. I want to copy that HTTP. So a couple ways you actually want to download this branch. You can either clone it like I just did, or you can actually go to your branch. Since I already have a branch, I won't create one. But you can also create a branch here with this little link here, and you can just go over here and then create a branch off of you. Now we're gonna head over to the terminal and just head over to my desktop, and I made a directory for this video. So just go ahead and do a git clone, and then we'll go ahead and clone our branch. So now we can just cd into it, and then now notice here I am on master, and you basically, as you can see, we're not on our correct branch. So we would just need to git checkout into the branch. And then now you can see we're in our branch. And then let's see. Now here we have our little file set up right here. And to make sure you have the latest version, you can do a git pull origin master. This will actually download all the latest files. So do an ls again, and then we head over to SQL scripts. You can actually here we have a Docker image that basically starts up the DB, and we'll head back. And if you head inside of functional, this will basically have your testing setups, contain your tests, and your JSONs. So we'll just head back. Oops. And then here is actually a little submodule created for just a little folder just created to basically hold the branch you're trying to test. So you can actually, if we head to the EForT web API, so the most recent one we had a EFWA Sprint 12 refactoring. So so to use this submodule, we can just head over into the EForT, and then you can see here we have a little commands. We do git sub module init, and then afterwards we do a git submodule update for And I'll just wait for that to download. So sometimes this causes issues, but there's also ways around it. You can actually go into the web API and you can look for the branch you want. You can either type it in, or you can find it here on the list. So here we'll do one of the most recent pull requests we had, which is the EFWA Sprint 12. So once you're here, you can either download the branch or you can clone it. So I just clone it, get the HTTP link, and then now inside here I just do a git clone. And boom, it's right there. So we'll just go back to our main directory, and now we can start up the tests. So we'll just do a new window and we'll open our directory we made. Now you can see we have one test example here already made. In our tests, we have our setup, which have the driver configurations. Then we have our WebDriver configuration. We have our EForT right here and our SQL file. So now we want to start up the EForT locally on the computer. So to want a new terminal, you want to split this terminal and have both terminals here. So we want to go into EForT and we want to go into the branch we just cloned. If you actually notice, we are in develop branch, so we actually want to go into the correct sprint branch. We do a get checkout and we just see what it's named. So it's EFWA Sprint 12, so that's what we type here. You want to make sure you're in the right branch because you can be basically pulling the incorrect version of EForT. So let's cd to the beginning. Let's go back, sorry about that. And then, so it's Sprint 12, same thing for here. Do a get checkout, Sprint EFWA Sprint 12. And then now that we're in our actual sprint branch, then we can go ahead and this one we want to go to EForT. Here we want to go to the web API. And now that we're in the actual directories, then we would go ahead and start up. So we do a .NET clean. Same for here, .NET clean, .NET build, .NET build. Also make sure you have another terminal running, like this one right here. And we'll get into that in a few minutes. Let's just finish starting up the local environment. And then now make sure you do .NET run first on the one with your web API, which is this one right here. So .NET run, wait for that to finish, and then you want to do it to this one. But we'll wait, go ahead and wait for this one to start. So now that one's good. .NET run this one. And here we want to actually go into the SQL strips. And then here we want to do Docker compose up. And this will start getting our DB up and running. And we want to get this link down here. And can either, wherever you have Katalon installed, can either use the Firefox or Google Chrome. Now we basically come over here, the previous test that I was working with, and we'll just start a new one, test, and we'll add the new test case, test 1, for example, and then just hit record. So let's say login, and say login fails. So then you go ahead back to your test. If you're happy with your test, you just stop recording. And then afterwards, if you're done, you want to export your test. So you just export it. And then we want to export it as a NUnit test. And save that file. And just put it on our desktop here. Just go here to our little video use. You can add your test onto here. Once that's done, always make sure you close everything that's an open connection. If not, your computer is gonna leave it running, probably kill your battery. So now you can actually go here, and let's say everything is good. You're satisfied with how your test is. You ran it, which we do have a video of how to run the test. Oops, and go back in. So you would do next basically is just head over to your test. Then you would basically just push it onto your branch again, and then once you push it onto your branch, it would actually go onto Bamboo, which there will be a separate video of how that works as well. Just keep in mind, guys, the setup does change. For example, somebody may ask for a pull request, and maybe they refactored the code and they changed up the way the DB schema works. So if you had an older Docker image, maybe that might not work. It might, when you try to use their version of EForT, it might crash and might not work properly. So you just have to adjust to the change. There will be a video by Adrian on how to actually update that Docker image and get your local test up and running. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact Professor Masood. And thanks for watching, guys.